Welcome to the Book of Enoch, where we're going through the Book of Enoch verse by verse, because the Book of Enoch is by far the greatest example of what it'll be like in the days of Noah, because Enoch was there and he saw it all. Now, I said this many times, I'm not saying Enoch belongs in the Bible, I'm not saying it doesn't. But what I am saying is when Jesus says it'll be like the days of Noah, I want to know what that'll be like. You know, Jude himself quotes Enoch and says, according to the prophecy of Enoch, and then quotes this book. So I think it's important to understand. If Jude and Jesus thought it was important to understand, I'd like to understand it. So I also want to add that God has me, as I'm filming this, in a cave, and it's just a little cavern here. I'm in the Black Hills. It's the closest I could find. I'm under rocks, so we'll call it a cave for that matter. It'll definitely fit the purpose. I've kind of crammed in here. I could probably get a little further in, but not, you know, it gets pretty tight back there. So I'm just going to sit here. Now, we're at that place where Enoch has been taken up by some angels, and he's seeing really God's place of creation. He's seeing God's creation. He's seeing things that places humans can't go. And that's incredibly fascinating, you know, because you can climb the highest mountain and you'll never get to this mountain that he sees. Go up into space as far as you want, you'll never see these heavenly places. As far as you go, you can search the entire universe for it, you won't find it. So these are places we can't go to unless God decides to take us there, like Enoch, for example. So I'm going to pick it up there. We're hitting chapter 18. We'll pick it up in verse 1. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation and the firm foundations of the earth. I saw the cornerstones of the earth. I saw the four winds which bear the earth, the firmament of heaven. I saw how the winds stretch out the vaults of heaven and have their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. I saw the winds of heaven which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all the earth to their setting. I saw the winds on the earth, carrying the clouds. I saw the paths of the angels. I saw the ends of the earth, the firmament of the heaven above. All right, I'm going to pause there because there's really three things we need to talk about here. We have ultimately the winds, and they're clearly the pillars of the earth. He also sees the firmament, and then he sees these paths of the angels. So we're going to talk about the firmament today and really just kind of touch on the paths of the angels, and we'll talk about the winds next time. The firmament of the earth is really something that I think people who don't take the time to really study out what a firmament is don't even know what it is. And then a lot of people will take the firmament and they plug it into a flat earth concept, because what the firmament is it's a layer of water above us that you have to pass through to get to heavenly places. So you have water below in the sea, and you have water above in the firmament. It's just a layer of liquid water. And so we're going to go into Genesis and God's creation and kind of read about this moment in time where God created the firmament. Starting Genesis 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. Then God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Thus God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Chapter 16. Then God made two great lights, the great light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth. All right, this is fascinating. Now, I want to take a moment. We did talk about the firmament in another episode a long time ago, but if you watch that episode, I do want to remind you that I think the problem well, the problem I have, not I think, the problem I have with the flat earth concept is really that it limits God. It limits God. It's saying that God's just this two-dimensional thing that you know, it's limiting, very limiting. That if we go out in space, that, you know, there's only one direction to go, and up, you know, not that way or that way or that way, just up. And then at that point, you're eventually going to hit water. It's almost like this idea of being kind of in a reverse snow globe, like a globe where there's the earth and it's just air, and then the water's outside the snow globe is kind of, I think, how people see it. But people limit God, and if you've, you know, as we've gone through and seen what Enoch has seen, it's, you know, you can go into space as far as you can, and you're never going to get there because it's a three-dimensional thing. It's this thing where the earth is round and every direction is up. And eventually, as far, you go to the edges of the universe, as far as wherever God says stop, places we will never get to with our own technologies. Then there is the firmament. And I think, or that water layer, and then the stars and the moon and everything else is just kind of in that space between those two watery layers. But it's all like a circle. It's not like a snow globe. It's not like a flat. Like, it's not here's Earth, here's firmament. It's like here's Earth, and way out here, in a round kind of way is the firmament, you know. It's a three-dimensional thing, you know, and God is omnidimensional too, so don't limit him. Now, and I also want to say about the firmament, I don't know, I can't get there. I'm just basing it off of what I know, what I've seen in this universe, in this realm that I can see, and what I know about God. And what I know is he's omnidimensional. Don't limit him to just one direction, or it's just right there. Like somehow you can, you know, get high enough and then finally touch that firmament. You can't get to it. You won't make it. But all of his creation is within side of that firmament. It's really kind of a beautiful thing. Now, the paths of the angels I do want to touch on as well, because somehow they're getting through. And Enoch also speaks of the doorways that they get through, the secret doorways of these angels that they somehow are able to get through, is really fascinating as well. It's almost like if you knew the secret paths, then you can get to some of these places. But of course, we don't know these secret paths. And it's really because I think when we, you know, at least me, when I pictured angels coming from heaven to earth, it's almost like they just kind of, you know, go from this one place through space to this other place. But it's doorways. Like, who knows what those are like wormholes or, you know, black hole. Who knows what they're like. But they're somehow getting from one place in the universe to the other through doorways and pathways. And this is kind of what Enoch is seeing, is he's seeing that there's this places, that these paths that angels can take that we just simply, unless you know where the path is, you can't take the path. And God has decided to allow these angels to show Enoch these paths. I saw the treasuries of the winds. I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation, the firm foundations of the earth. I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the four winds which bear the earth and the firmament of the heaven. I saw how the winds stretch out the vaults of heaven and have their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. I saw the winds of heaven which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all of the stars to their setting. I saw the winds on the earth carrying the clouds. I saw the paths of the angels. I saw at the ends of the earth the firmament of the heaven above. And I proceeded, and I saw a place which burns day and night, where there are 7 mountains of magnificent stones, 3 towards the east, 3 towards the south. And we'll get into that a whole other episode on where that place is. But ultimately, he took him to heavenly realms. And he did it by taking him through the paths that only the angels know, and through that firmament, which you can't get to. You can't build a rocket ship to get there. It just can't be done. This is the only way. You got to know the paths of the angels. So there you go. Fascinating stuff. Stick with us. I'm going to be in the Black Hills here for a few more days, and we'll just keep on digging.